All right, so now I'm going to talk about secondary prevention. So if you remember from before, this level really focuses on um, a child who may be kind of beginning to escalate, or who may be pushing that boundary of starting to exhibit behaviors. And so this is going to follow a little bit more of a process rather than just like different strategies to use. So it's going to start once a trigger has occurred for a child. And once the trigger occurs, this is kind of your time to observe and assess the situation and determine what the child's level of self-control is. So do they need you to step in, or can they handle this on their own? And then kind of ask yourself, do I need to prepare? And is the area safe? Are potential objects to be thrown or pushed over in the way? Do they need to be moved? Do other children need to be moved out of the way? Does the child there need to be removed? Can you position yourself in a better way? So it's kind of your chance to just observe and take things in, and then start to look for warning signs. So warning signs could be anything from arguing or shouting to kind of like, muttering under their breath. This could just be heavy breathing or pacing. Maybe it's restlessness or rocking. Or they could even, kind of be starting to tear up. So just look out for warning signs and recognize when are occurring right after a trigger. Maybe you didn't get to see the trigger occur then, maybe you were across the room. And so recognizing, something in that situation doesn't seem right, and then take that moment to quickly assess and determine what you need to do. And then there are some different strategies that you can use in this time, so before the behavior has actually occurred, you're still in that warning phase. So this could be redirecting. So redirect to the current activity that they're playing with, being like, show me what you're playing with. Or, maybe the trigger was that their block tower fell over and they're about to get really, really worked up. And it's like, we can rebuild the tower, I can help you. And take that chance to connect with the child, but redirecting their attention to something that they can control. And that like refocusing their attention on the task instead of on their emotion. Something else you could do though is redirect to a new activity. So if the one that they're currently in has maybe triggered them a couple times at this point, then be like, hey, maybe it's best if we try this. Or if we go play over here, or oh my goodness, that looks so fun, let's go try that. So just kind of, again, just like reshifting their focus and redirecting them. Another strategy that you could use is to remove. So this could be removing the trigger, removing the child from the situation, especially if it is really overwhelming them. You could go encourage them to go take a break, encourage them to go play somewhere else. But sometimes they just need to get out of that situation. Or, maybe the child is just really, really overstimulated. Maybe it's really loud. Maybe, a bunch of people are bumping up against them. So maybe they're just really overstimulated, so you can remove the overwhelming stimuli. So maybe they need to go put some headphones on, or, maybe remind the other kids around them, like, hey, this is our body and we don't want to touch other people's bodies. So let's make sure, we don't pop their bubble, stuff like that. So that, they're not continually being overwhelmed. So the third strategy is just to connect with the kid, ask if they're okay and ask if they need help, and then remind them that you're there to help, that's what their teachers are there for. Sometimes all they want to know is that there's somebody in their corner, and that can help them calm down. This is also the perfect time to use all of the intervention strategies and tools that you guys already know and use. It's like your physical support, your co-regulation, your planned ignoring, all of that kind of stuff, that for each individual kid what works and what doesn't. This is when they're going to be most receptive. This is when they're going to be the most reasonable, before the behavior has gone too far and they're like way up here in peak escalation. Um, so this is the perfect time to use all of those strategies. And then lastly, for secondary prevention is use of a safety script. So reminding them, this is a safe place and I'm not going to let anybody hurt you, or whatever the behavior is, bite you, push you, or anything like that, tease you. And then turning it back around and being like, I can't let you do X, Y, and Z because this is a safe place. So just reminding them that they're in a safe environment, but because of that, they can't hurt people. That's not okay. And yeah, that's all for secondary prevention. And now Claire is going to talk to you about tertiary prevention.